Hello and welcome to Square Balloon Actions and Tutorials. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to even up the skin tone on an older baby. I'm using Photoshop CS for this. I'm using number 6, but you can use this in earlier versions as well. So here we have a straight out of camera image. Well, I've just taken it through ACR, but I didn't really make many adjustments to it. It was taken with Studio Light, so I always do a custom white balance with Studio Light to try and get the colors as correct as possible before I bring them into Photoshop. Now here's an image that I've already edited, and what I like to do is I like to edit one image and then keep that open so that I can make sure that all the other images that are similar to that one are all match up, so that if the client wants them all printed out together on a collage or in a row, that they don't look too different from each other. So it's my job to match them all up so they all look the same. So in this baby here was an older baby. The skin on her face was kind of a little bit more orange. She had a couple of areas that were chapped under her chin there, and then down here on her legs there was more of a blue tone to it. So we're just going to even all that up. Now what I was working with here was she was sitting on a futon mattress, which I would like to put down for early sitters. She wasn't completely steady, so if you have a futon mattress, then this is just a cream fleece blanket on top. Then it's a nice soft thing for them to sit on. If they fall over, they won't hurt themselves in any way. So we're going to deal with the skin on her face first, and I'm going to use the patch tool for that. And if I'm going to be patching large areas, I like to duplicate my layer first. So I'm just taking little patches and I'm moving into an area of good skin. So that's what I'm doing here. The skin on the cheek was very good, so we'll move it around in there, and once I'm happy with everything that's masked there and that the color is good, then I will use my skin smoothing action. I'm just going to make sure that actually I'm going to flatten that down first so we get the best kind of sample to skin smooth from. So on the mask of that, I'm just going to smooth the skin at 100%. So always talk with your client while you're at the shoot about what kind of look that they like. So if they want everything to be kept as real as possible, then that's obviously something that's going to influence how you edit. And obviously never edit out anything that's permanent unless that is a special request from the parents. Okay, so the skin is a little bit smoother now. That's fine. We'll flatten that down. I'd like to do a little bit of eye define, which will just bring a little bit of sharpness to the edges. Go down a bit. Maybe on the toes here. It'd be nice to have a little bit of sharpness. And then I like the lighten up brush as well, especially if this eye here just could do with just a little bit more lightness to it. And red skin removal as well is always useful for inside the nostrils and the ears and anywhere you think is a little bit red. So now that we've dealt with that, we're just going to deal with, I like the color of her skin up here. It's possibly just a little bit orangey around here. So something that works quite well with that is Bye Bye Jaundice, because that does take orangey tones out of the skin. So let's just bring the opacity down and we'll just take a little bit more of that orange out. So often babies this age have little orangey noses, so that'll work well there. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use Paint on Warmth, and I'm only going to do it in the areas. Let's just make it a little bit stronger. And I'm only going to do it in the areas that I think are a little bit cooler looking. So obviously not on her face this time. Okay. Just take it off with the black brush. I'm just going to take off a little bit from this arm here. Okay, so if we take a pull back look at that, and we'll just see how the warm, if I turn it on and off, you can see where that's going. Maybe another little bit, just a little bit further up on her side of her face and up here, where the shadows are a little bit cool. So I think that's pretty good now. The color is more even all over. It's more like this one here. They would work well as a set. Now I haven't done any smoothing of the background here, but possibly if you wanted just to get rid of the line on this side between the blanket and the backdrop, you can do that. So just make a new layer, choose a color here, paint over. It's at a very low opacity. We'll bring up the opacity a little bit. And then I don't like to use the eraser tool. I always like to use the mask rather than the eraser. And then you can just paint over in that full opacity black, just to bring back in what was there before. So there's a full edit of a 10-month-old newly sitting baby.